Howdy, y'all. I think the next plan for the D4 is to pull the engine oil pan off. And I think I was watching one of Squatch, I think it's Squatch 235, one of his videos, and he recommended that whenever you're working on one of these to always take the engine oil pan off and clean it. And I think he was working on a D2, and it was absolutely, completely filled with gunk and debris. So that's something I wanted to do anyway, but that'll also give us a good chance to take a look at the main bearings and the bottoms of the two center pistons and just see how stuck they are. So that's what we're going to be working on today. As you can see underneath here, there's oil pan. Should be fairly simple to get to most of it. The back oil pan bolts might be a problem. There's a leaf spring pack right here that might hinder our access to those bolts in the back. In fact, from what I understand, that pan may even go up above it somehow. I think that spring rides on a hanger. If that's the case, my plan is to, I've got some big 6x6s I'll put right under here across the front, and then stack some, these giant jack stands I have, or some 6x6s up here on the front, on each side, and make kind of a bridge that I can get a jack underneath here and lower the oil pan, and then pull it out the front so we can inspect it and see what we're going to do with this old girl. We were completely unsuccessful the other day trying to get it to move with a cheater wrench. We have some other things we're going to try. It's kind of interesting, this old thing, the mouse nests. It's been sitting a while. Still soaking it in some Marvel and some penetrating oil to try and get it freed. A lot of surface rust on there. I may need to get some liners for this thing. A little bit of improvement there. Hopefully not a lot of pitting. We'll see. Over here on the radiator, as you can see, a lot of dust built up and dirt in the bottom. This was not working, the crank to crank the engine. Part of the reason we pulled the radiator off, but as you can see, quite a wasp nest built up in there. So yeah, that's another project to come. Get the oil pan off and see if this old girl's worth salvaging. We'll find out. So, fortunate enough to find a original service manual for the D4, and kind of shows the procedures to pull the oil pan out. So I'm going to follow these. Definitely cool to have one of these in itself. A lot of interesting reading.
That may clean up, I don't know.
You know, we should probably pull these off and cap them so that they don't get bent or something, huh?
I think I can get sleeves for it. Yeah, we'll pull those off. And I'll put plugs on them.
Because it feels like it's too rusted into the sleeve.
What you're feeling is scale that's on the sleeve.
I know it's scale. I know that. But it's quite a bit.
Well, what do you think, Grandpa?
Well, it might clean up. Get your reamer in there when you get the piston out.
How old are you, Grandpa?
Huh?
How old are you?
2 years old.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just add a 9 in front of it.
But you used to run tractors like this.
Yes.
And farm with them.
Absolutely.
22s.
Yeah.
Cat 22s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we still have one.
Yes, we do. We'll put that in another video. It's surprising that all this stuff is so loose. It's free.
Yeah.
It's not
this
rusted.
belt actually ain't that bad. It's just weather hard.
Yeah, we'll get a new one.
Yeah.
I think that these are going to clean up.
I do too.
There's just scale, but really there's not a lot of pitting underneath of them.
So we'll keep this belt and be sure that
I can get one, I'll match it.
We can match it up.
So we kind of cleaned up these walls with a little bit of Marvel and some diesel fuel, 50/50. And actually not even close to as bad as we thought. I think we're going to be able to make this run. There's a few small pits. It's starting, you can see on the wall right here, but it's not really into the metal so far that I think that the oil will get past the rings. So if we can get this free, I think we're going to be...
That cylinder is good. This one does have some pits, I see.
It's like Grandpa said, we're all the way up. Pounding on it ain't gonna do any good.
We're gonna have to take the journals off the...
So we thought we'd give it one more go and try to get the cylinders freed. We put a big wrench on here and a cheater, and Dad kind of tapped on all this with a block of wood and no dice. So we're gonna go the oil pan route and get that thing pulled and see if that's what if we can see what our problem is, what's holding us up. We jacked the back of this thing up, got it up on the, some 6x6s, and may need to go a little further, but got the old pneumatic 22-ton jack that we used to use for changing truck tires, loaded trucks, and picking up loaders and whatever. And Dad is wearing a very fitting shirt today. Dad, what's your shirt?
Farmall.
If at first you don't succeed, get a Farmall. So maybe Dad's brought bad luck with him this morning.
Well, we always bought Caterpillars. So.
Yes, we did. This one's a tough one to get to. Can't get a socket on it or nothing. The tops of them threads are a little battered too. So I'm loosening the spring hanger so we can raise the front of the engine up to get the oil pan out. But not getting a socket on this one. And it is going hard the whole way. Alright, we're going to put another safety jack stand on the other side. My 6x6 across the front idea wasn't going to work. It's going to be in our way. And see, we can see, got the leaf spring pack pulled out there. And on this side, those were pretty tough cookies to get undone. Okay, so we got the tractor jacked up in the back, just like it says in the service manual. It says 8 inches off the ground. We're pretty close to that. Kind of looks comical. And we got the front, some big heavy jack stands under the front. These have been used for a lot of projects over the years. I remember working on backhoes, loaders, our old number 12 motor grader with my grandfather using those jack stands. So I feel very comfortable having the 2 of those under there. So next step is to start taking the bolts out of the oil pan, and we'll see if we can get it dropped. It'll give us a better idea of what we're dealing with. Bolts out of the belly pan, the oil pan.
And now twist it towards me. A little more right there. I think that's the front one right there that's clear down. That doesn't look that bad. The cam, I can see the cam. We'll want to pull it and look at it. Push it towards me. Twist that right there. That cam don't look too bad. You can't tell if it's pitted. We're just going to have to look and see. Get that pan out.
All right, let's get the pan out. That was a struggle. A nice wrestling match. I need to go down.
You need to come to the...
There you go.
There.
Watch your toes.
Yeah.
I gotta go down.
Yeah, you can put it down.
It's got less in it than the D did. I think I'm down all the way.
Oh yeah, you are.
All right.
All right.
Let's get it out a little further and then we'll just pull it off to the side. Actually, it should... Ooh, that cam's got a lot of wear. Those pistons got a lot of rust too. Not pistons, but the line. Those liners look pretty rusty.
Can you see the two center ones?
Yeah.
What do they look like? Like they do up here on top?
Yeah.
Same thing. The crank's all centered up, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely perfectly centered.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
I don't know. There's a lot of rust on those.
Is it any worse than this front one was up here?
No. Well, here's as far as we got today. As you can see, these pistons, at least the back one cleaned up, I think we can salvage it. This one I might need to get a sleeve for. And we were able to take a look underneath, and it doesn't look like there's anything unsalvageable. So I think we may be able to get this thing running. The problem is when it was parked, as you can see, everything is right over center. So it's hard to turn that crank. Just going to take a little bit of oomph. Typical amount of gunk in the oil pan here. Nothing abnormal. Yeah, it's a lot, but frankly, when we redid our John Deere D, it was way worse than this, so not terrible. Yeah, there it is. It was quite the wrestling match the last couple hours to get that pan out of here. The spring goes up in between the oil pans, so makes it quite a headache to get that out of there. At any rate, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.